Yeah, so I think when you're in a band, especially when you start a band when you're 14 years old, I mean, we were touring at 17, like I think we graduated high school and 3 weeks later we're on an arena tour and we were playing like 200, 250 shows a year.
Hmm.
Um, so it got to a point where we're like, burnt out would be the wrong term. But I feel like we just needed to like figure out, who we were like individually. I mean, all I knew myself as was singer, so I wanted to take a few years to travel the world and figure out who I was and figured out who I was outside of the cab or the singer of the cab. And I think it was really nice for us to take some time and to, some of us became fathers, some of us became, husbands, partners, and it felt like the right time to come back because we're doing it because we really, really want to and not because we have to.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing. I mean, we get to play music with our best friends, and what an amazing thing that is that, we have the opportunity to do that. So
Yeah.
we're so excited to get back up there. We haven't done a headliner in 13 years. So for us, it's like a dream come true to be able to do this again. And, we miss the fans. And as cool as it was opening for All Time Low, I mean, that was incredible. But
Hmm.
to be able to play an hour and a half, or however long it is, as opposed to just playing like 6 songs is really special because we get to play songs that span over Whisper War era, Symphony Soldier era, Chasing Crowns, and
Hmm.
we're pumped. Yeah, so we had a song called Crown that a lot of the diehard Cab fans know.
Hmm.
That like leaked, lives on YouTube somewhere. And I think Chasing Crowns, like, a crown is like a metaphor. Obviously, it's not doesn't have to be a physical object, but it's about chasing and fighting for greatness, for hope, for just the things that you want in life. We get one life, and whatever. I love the quote, like find what you love and let it kill you. And it's kind of like the chase and the pursuit is kind of everything. So for us, and other Cab fans know too, it's like Whisper War, WW, Symphony Soldier, SS,
Hmm.
Chasing Crowns, CC, Lady Lucky, PLL. So like we love alliterations.
Uh-huh.
And this just felt like the continuation of the story of, going from Symphony Soldier to this. Symphony Soldier is like, what are you fighting for? And then Chasing Crowns is like the continuation of that. It's been really fun. Like, and then this is the first headlining tour we've done where we had production lights. So we really can like tell the story, dive deep. It's been so fun choosing like what colors are we using for this song. It's like it's been really fun to like kind of plant Easter eggs for the fans. And I don't know, I love telling a story. I think everything should have purpose and meaning. So it's been
Yeah.
really fun to figure that out. I think there's always pressure, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
I can write 1,000 songs for myself, and that would be, I guess, fun and time consuming. But the reason we make music is like for the fans, right? Like music, the beautiful part is the connection to other people and the relatability. And, my favorite part about being in a band and making music is the camaraderie of like making music with your friends. Like, I don't like, it's not fun for me to write a song by myself. There's always pressure, right? There's always pressure to like live up to the last album, to live up, but you can't like people love you for a reason. They love your band for a reason. And I think if you stay authentic, I think the fans understand that. And that being said, like the Back from the Dead tour, we didn't want to be that band who 80% of the show you're playing the new stuff and fans are like, like
Yeah.
I waited 13 years to hear this song off Symphony Soldier and they're not playing it. Like for us, it's like this tour is a love letter to the fans. So, first priority is trying to play all of the songs that people want to hear. And then if we can
Mhm.
sprinkle on a few new ones, great. But this tour is really a thank you to all the old fans. I would say in general, I think being in a band in your 30s as opposed to your 20s, like
Mhm.
I'm a dad, I have a daughter,
Mhm.
and if 4 people came to the show and I looked to my left and I see my daughter smiling and singing along side stage, like nothing else matters. It's
Yeah.
like I think when you're young, it's all about numbers and climbing ladders and like all of these things. And then like you realize that like it's so much more important to have something be everything to a few people than have a lot of people there where it doesn't mean anything. I mean, I think the unique quality of the cab has always been, musically at least, is like, I grew up listening to either Rage Against the Machine or NSYNC, Justin
Mhm.
Timberlake, right?
Mhm.
And then Marshall listened to like Coldplay and like beautiful piano music, and Joey listens to like grunge, and then Dave listens to hip hop, R&B, and emo, and then is like a theater kid. So for us, it's like as long as the DNA of the cab is still there, I think all of those things shine, right? So we wanted to make sure that no matter what reason a fan loved the cab, they had something for them on the album, because like not every, I mean, even my favorite albums, like there might be a song or two that aren't my favorite, and that's okay. It doesn't mean they're bad songs. It's just like not my favorite songs.
Hmm.
So Chasing Crowns is like, okay, we're gonna put out 18 songs, but technically like 15 with the interludes and intros. And as long as, every Cab fan had something on the album that they loved that made them be like, oh my God, this is what I loved about the Cab, that makes it worth it for us. Oh yeah. I mean, every song's a bookmark in life, right? So
Hmm.
I remember writing Roller Coaster was one of the first songs we wrote for the album. And, lyrically, it's literally like, I think the opening line is, where has the time gone? I swear it's been so long. So that was like, first line we wrote was about like, oh my God, like this is crazy that we're doing this cab thing again. And then the last few songs we wrote, Every Universe, Hellraiser, songs about my wife and my kid, obviously 5, 6 years ago, I couldn't have written a song that was heartfelt and authentic about having a child because I didn't have one, and now I do. So it's cool because I can listen to Roller Coaster and be like, oh, this is the catalyst, this is the start of making the new record and the next step of the cab and coming back after a hiatus. And then listen to Hellraiser, and that's a bookmark of a year and a half of my life of figuring out fatherhood. So fatherhood has softened me a lot. I think that the older you get, like honestly, we get along better. People don't believe it, but it's like we get along better now than we ever have, because I think we're all confident in who we are. We all have our families, or even like outside career fields or whatever. And like, so we're, again, like I said earlier, like we're doing the cab because we want to, and it's fulfilling, and not because we're like, oh, we're all broke. We need to get the band back together to make some cash. It's like, we would never do it because of that. So I think it's special to think about yourself as, a 14-year-old being in a garage with his best friends, and you go through some hardships, but it kind of came full circle, and I'm touring with my best friends again, and that's like a really great thing. I mean, I think the beauty of music is that it makes everyone feel different things. So if someone comes to the show and they feel nostalgia because there's a song that they loved when they were 14 years old and they get to hear it for the first time live, or they never thought they'd hear it again live and they get to, like, that's amazing. If I know a lot of fans are excited to, for example, bring their kid to a show to be like, oh my God, this was my favorite band when I was growing up, and now you get to see them and I get to experience this with my child. That's really cool too. And then I have met a few people online and through Instagram and X and all that, where people had never heard of the cab before, or they had heard of Angel with the Shotgun on YouTube or through some sort of like, Discord chat group or whatever. And now they get to see the cab for the first time when they never thought they were ever going to see us. To me, it's like, if it brings you joy, I don't care what your reason is, it's like, just come sing along. And I think the beauty about cab fans is so many cab fans met their best friends at cab shows. So there's such a community and camaraderie that I can't wait to see all these people in a room again. It's just gonna be so special. I just hope that the fans know that they've affected me tenfold of what they think, how I've affected them. So they've changed my life, and the reason I'm a happy man is because of the fans. Oh my God, dude, there's so many. I won't go into too much detail because we don't have that much time, but I did a session with Mick Jagger for this record. The song didn't make the cut, but I did write a song with Mick Jagger in New York City. And that's a pretty funny thing. The Cab and the Rolling Stones almost meshed. It's a long story. Yeah, I pretty much met his son in passing. Didn't know that it was his son. Sweetest kid ever. Invited me to do a writing session. Didn't tell me that Mick Jagger was his dad, and then asked me if it was okay if his dad joined. And Mick strolled in with his Rolling Stones harmonica case. So that was a trip.